In the spotlight tonight is Tim Wilson from Peterborough, an author. His specialist subject is the life and works of Charles Dickens. Isabelle Huard from Lincolnshire, a voluntary worker. Hers, the films of Vincent Minnelli. Shelley from Leeds, a retired teacher, and his subject is boys' comics and papers from 1940 to 1960. And Geoffrey Thomas from Cheshire, a retired lecturer whose subject is the city of Buenos Aires. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to the second quarter-final of Mastermind 2003. Each of our four contenders tonight has won a round already. Now, they're in line to go through, one of them is anyway, to the grand final and the chance to win a glass bowl. But, more importantly, that title of Mastermind 2003. To get there, they have to give correct answers to questions on their chosen subject and general knowledge, and they have 2 minutes on each. That's all, so the pressure is real. So, may I have our first contender, please? And your name is?
Tim Wilson.
Occupation?
Author.
Last time you took English romantic literature as your subject and you got 10 points on it. Tonight it is?
The life and works of Charles Dickens.
2 minutes on that, beginning now. What was Mr. Wardle's house at Dingley Dell, where the Pickwickians spent a very merry Christmas, called?
Manor Farm.
Correct. Which of Gabriel Varden's apprentices in Barnaby Rudge was very proud of his legs?
Sim Tapetit.
Correct. In Our Mutual Friend, which one-legged man tried to blackmail Mr. Boffin?
Silas Wegg.
Correct. What was the name of Dr. Blimber's assistant in Dombey and Son, who was described as a kind of human barrel organ?
Mr. Feeder.
Correct. With which fellow writer did Dickens stay at Hescott Newmarket in Cumbria in 1857 to write an article entitled The Lazy Tour of Two Idle Apprentices?
Wilkie Collins.
Correct. In the Pickwick Papers, which strolling player is finally rescued from death by the generosity of Mr. Pickwick?
Mr. Jingle.
Correct. Which lifelong friend of David Copperfield that he met at school later became a barrister and helped expose the villainy of Uriah Heep?
Tommy Traddles.
Correct. In Bleak House, the murder of which cunning lawyer is investigated by Inspector Bucket?
Mr. Tulkinghorn.
Correct. Described by Dickens as the best and truest friend man ever had, who looked after Dickens after his separation from his wife, Catherine?
Georgina Hogarth.
Correct. In Our Mutual Friend, what's the name of the schoolmaster who takes up Charlie Hexam as his special pupil and falls in love with Charlie's sister, Lizzie?
Bradley Headstone.
Correct. What was the title of the weekly founded by Dickens in 1840 in which the Old Curiosity Shop in Barnaby Rudge first appeared in weekly instalments?
Master Humphrey's Clock.
Correct. In Bleak House, what's the name of the young doctor who married Esther Summerson?
Alan Woodcourt.
Correct. In Martin Chuzzlewit, who was Martin's cheery manservant who accompanied him to America?
Mark Tapley.
Correct. What was the name of Dickens' first love, who rejected his proposal because of his poor prospects, but inspired the character of Dora in David Copperfield?
Maria Beadnell.
Correct. Which Dickens novel was condemned by Thomas Macaulay for its sullen socialism?
Little Dorrit.
Hard Times. In Pickwick Papers, in which town was a memorable by-election fought between the Blue Party and the Buff Party?
Eatanswill.
Correct. With which young actress did Dickens begin a relationship after seeing her in a performance of Wilkie Collins? I've started, so I'll finish. The Frozen Deep in 1857.
Ellen Ternan.
That is correct. Tim Wilson, you passed on none of those questions. You got one wrong, that's all. You scored a total of 16 points. And our second contender, please. And your name is?
Isabelle Huard.
Your occupation?
Voluntary worker.
Last time you took Audrey Hepburn as your special subject. This time it is?
The films of Vincent Minnelli.
Vincent Minnelli for 2 minutes, starting now. What was the title of Minnelli's last film, A Vehicle for His Daughter, Liza?
A Matter of Time.
Correct. Minnelli cast Louis Jordan for the role of Gaston in Gigi, but in which 1949 film did he cast him as Rodolphe?
Madame Bovary.
Correct. In Bells Are Ringing, what is the telephone number of Geoffrey Moss, played by Dean Martin, the playwright with an imminent deadline and writer's block?
Pass.
Which film, directed by Minnelli, was the first Freed production to win the Best Picture Academy Award and the first musical to win the award since The Great Ziegfeld in 1936?
An American in Paris.
Correct. In Lust for Life, which picture is shown as Van Gogh's last before he commits suicide?
Sunflowers.
No, Wheatfield with Crows. In which musical did Judy Garland as Marilyn sing Look for the Silver Lining?
Till the clouds roll by.
Correct. What was the title of the second segment of the 1952 film The Story of Three Loves, directed by Minnelli, starred Leslie Caron and Farley Granger?
Mademoiselle.
Correct. Many of the exterior shots for Some Came Running were filmed in which town in the state of Indiana?
Madison.
Correct. Which 1943 musical with an all-black cast was the first film to be directed entirely by Minnelli?
Cabin in the Sky.
Correct. Along with Helen Rose, which French designer was responsible for costume design in The Reluctant Debutante?
Sheriff.
Pierre Balmain. Which ballerina was the first choice for the role of Fiona Campbell in Brigadoon before Sid Charisse landed the role?
Zizi Jomer.
No, Maura Shearer. What title reflecting a song in Gigi did Minnelli give to his autobiography, published in 1974?
I remember it well.
Correct. An extraordinary reconstruction by Cedric Gibbons and William Ferrari of which New York station dominates the beginning and end of the clock?
Pennsylvania Station.
Correct. Who was responsible for the musical direction in Minnelli's 1970 film On a Clear Day You Can See Forever?
Deutsch.
Nelson Riddle. Minnelli's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse is based on the novel by which author?
Blanco Ibanez.
Correct. Sally Benson's autobiographical Kensington stories were used as a basis of which musical?
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Meet Me in St. Louis is correct. You passed on only one question. In Bells Are Ringing, the telephone number was Plaza 04433, which, of course, now you remember. That one pass, Isabelle Huard, you scored 11 points. And our third contender, please. And your name is?
Joe Shelley.
Occupation?
Retired teacher.
And you last took as your special subject radio comedy. This time it is what?
Boys, Comics and Papers, 1940 to 1960.
2 minutes on that, starting now. What was the secret identity of amazing Mr. X, the first all-British superhero who appeared for just 14 strips in The Dandy in 1944?
Wilson.
Len Manners. Major Midas Mould and his Roundhead secret police were the main adversaries of which character known as the Laughing Cavalier in The Comet?
Pass.
What did the S stand for in Shazam, the magic acronym that transformed Billy Batson into Captain Marvel?
Samson.
No, Solomon. Alan Morley's creation, Charlie Chutney, the comic cook, brightened the lives of British children in which comic from 1944 to 1947?
Could you repeat that, please?
Alan Morley's creation, Charlie Chutney, the comic cook, brightened the lives of British children in which comic from 44 to 47?
Dandy.
Correct. In The Hotspur, what was the name of the housemaster of Homer House at Red Circle School when Edward Jones began attending there in 1946?
Mr. Smug.
Correct. Who, on his debut in The Wizard in July 43, wished to emulate the 3-minute mile run by Benjamin Knutsford from Gibbet Ash to Staling Church in March 1774?
That's Wilson.
It is. John Ryan's Captain Pugwash appeared in the first edition of The Eagle in April 1950. Which of his other creations followed in August of that year?
Lettuce Leaf.
Harris Tweed. Which comedian illustrated the Tornado strip that appeared in Oh Boy comics in 1948?
Bob Monkhouse.
Correct. Who sold The Case of the Tailor's Dummy in the first edition of The Lion on the 23rd of February 1952?
Pass.
What was the original title of the Bash Street Kids strip in the Beano?
The Bash Street Children.
When the Bell Rings. Which war cameraman, drawn by Jeff Campion, arrived as the first non-film star hero on the pages of Film Fun in June '59?
Ronnie Noble.
Scoop Donovan.
Oh.
Which newspaper launched the Rocket comic on the 21st of April 1956, which advertised itself... I've started, so I shall finish. Which advertised itself as the first Space Age weekly?
Daily Mirror.
It was The News of the World.
Oh.
So, you passed on 2 questions there. The Case of the Tailor's Dummy. It was solved by Brett Marlowe. And Major Midas Mould and his Roundhead secret police were the adversaries of Claude Duval. 2 passes. You scored, Joe Shelley, 4 points.
Thank you.
And our 4th contender, please. And your name?
Geoffrey Thomas,
Occupation?
retired lecturer.
Last time your chosen subject was Lancashire County Cricket Club. This time it is?
The city of Buenos Aires.
The city of Buenos Aires. 2 minutes, starting now. Which president of the Argentine Republic who governed the province of Buenos Aires made the city his capital in 1862?
Sarmiento.
No, Mitre. Built in 1713 and located in the Manzana de las Luces, what is reputedly the oldest church in Buenos Aires?
San Ignacio.
Correct. What was the name of the leader of the expedition from Asunción that refounded Nuestra Señora Santa Maria del Buena Aire from Asunción in 1580?
Juan de Garay.
Correct. Which Buenos Aires building is considered to be the starting point for all Argentine highways and has been designated Kilometre Zero?
The obelisk.
No, the Congress building. Who was the president of Argentina when the Casa Rosada was officially inaugurated in 1898?
Roca.
Correct. Founded as a philosophy research institute in 1944, which higher educational institution was granted university status under Jesuit direction in 56?
Salvador.
Correct. What's the nickname of the home stadium of Boca Juniors Football Club, built in 1940 with the official name Estadio Alberto J. Armando?
The Bombonera.
Correct. Until 1888, which district of the city was the key river port dealing with most Buenos Aires trade?
The La Boca around the Riachuelo.
No, San Telmo. Which Spanish soldier and explorer who became the first Governor-General of the Rio de la Plata region was the original founder of Buenos Aires in 1536?
Don Pedro de Mendoza.
Correct. Which theatre was destroyed by fire in 1792, leaving Buenos Aires without a theatre for over a decade?
The Avenida.
No, de Rancheria. In which cemetery opened in 1822 is Eva Perón buried with a populist inscription on her tomb, Volveré y seré millones, I will return and be millions?
Recoleta.
Correct. Which poet and essayist became director of the Argentine National Library and served in that post until 1973?
Jorge Luis Borges.
Correct. Where in Buenos Aires is the final resting place of the General José de San Martín, who led the fight for Argentine independence?
Metropolitan Cathedral.
Correct. You passed. On none of those questions, you have scored a total of 9 points. Well, that brings us to the end of the specialist subjects round, so let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place, on 4 points, is Joe Shelley. In third place, on 9 points, Geoffrey Thomas. Second place, on 11 points, Isabelle Huard. In the lead, with 16 points, Tim Wilson. On to round 2 now and our general knowledge. But remember, if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into consideration and the contender with the fewest passes will be declared the winner. So, on with the general knowledge round. And let me first ask Joe Shelley to join us again, please. And you took radio comedy last time, Mr. Shelley.
Right, yes.
And had 13 points. This time, comics, and you didn't do quite so well. A big subject, an awful lot of comics in those 20 years. But what was the appeal of them? I mean, because some of them were... I mean, we look at them now, I suppose, and think, gosh, how...
Absolutely, yeah.
Naive and...
Well, you did read them. There weren't pictures in, apart from the picture to illustrate the main events of the story. But they were well written, and they used to keep suspense with the serials. Good with sport as well.
And much less violence as well, although the violence that was there was sort of stylised. It was Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Rockfist Rogan was my favourite in a thing called The Champion. Yes, he was a battling fighter pilot. And like Biggles, he managed to serve in both world wars.
Let's test your general knowledge now then, Mr. Shelley. Right. You have 2 minutes, starting now. Which organisation has won the Nobel Peace Prize on 3 occasions in 1917, 44 and 63?
Red Cross.
Correct. Lightning Ridge in New South Wales is the centre for mining the black version of which precious stone?
Opal.
Correct. Which of Shakespeare's plays is set in Vienna?
Pass.
The Lion Hill in Belgium, which marks the spot where the Prince of Orange was wounded, is the main memorial for which battle?
Waterloo. Correct.
Whom did George Carey succeed as Archbishop of Canterbury in 1991?
Runcie.
Correct. What phrase meaning no choice at all comes from the name of a 17th century carrier who insisted that the customer hired whichever horse was next in line?
Hobson's Choice.
Correct. What term was coined in 1952 by the art critic Harold Rosenberg to describe such activities as riding a bicycle over the canvas?
Action painting.
Correct. Which political party was founded in March 92 to spread the ideas of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi?
Natural law.
Correct. In 1907, Theodore Roosevelt appointed George Washington Goethals as chief engineer in charge of which construction project?
Panama Canal.
Correct. Which republic, the second smallest in the world, lies about 10 miles southwest of Rimini?
San Marino.
Correct. Which triangular muscle situated in the shoulder region takes its name from the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet?
Deltoid.
Correct. Who directed the films Anatomy of a Murder and Exodus?
Pass.
Josiah Wedgwood took the name of which ancient state in Italy for the name of his factory near Stoke-on-Trent?
Etruria.
Correct. Which blind Spanish composer's works included Concerto de Aranjuez and Concerto Andaluz for guitar and orchestra?
Manuel de Falla.
No, Rodrigo. Which game invented in India in about 1875 is said to take its name from an old military slang word for a cadet?
Snooker.
Correct. Which 18th century Scottish-born American naval commander later became a rear admiral in the Russian Navy?
John Paul Jones.
Correct. Which group had... I've started the question, so I'll finish. Which group had top 10 hits in the 1960s with Carrie Ann and Jennifer Eccles?
The Hollies.
Correct. So you had 2 passes there. The director of the films Anatomy of a Murder and Exodus was Otto Preminger. Shakespeare's play set in Vienna, You'll Kick Yourself, was Measure for Measure. 4 points in the last round, 14 in this. You have a total of 18 points. Joe Shelley. And now Geoffrey Thomas, if he would, please. So it was Lancashire County Cricket Club that got you 15 points last time, Mr. Thomas.
It was indeed.
And this time, Buenos Aires.
Yes, it's quite away from Lancashire.
It's quite different in all sorts of ways. A bit
Very
flatter for a
different,
start.
yes.
Why Buenos Aires?
I had a holiday there 2 or 3 years ago, and I enjoyed it so much that I delved a bit deeper into the spirit of the place and started reading up. I thought it was a fascinating city.
Right, let's move on to general knowledge and see how you do in this round. You have 2 minutes starting now. In professional boxing, which weight category lies between light heavyweight and heavyweight?
Cruiserweight.
Correct. Philip II of France and which King of England arrived in the Holy Land in 1191 as leaders of the Third Crusade?
Richard I.
Correct. Which European capital city is served by Arlanda International Airport?
Stockholm.
Correct. What name derived from the German for to splash is given to a drink consisting of white wine and soda water to which ice and lemon may be added?
Spritzer.
Correct. Isox lucius is the scientific name of which voracious freshwater fish?
Pike.
Correct. To which genus of trees does the sycamore belong?
Oak.
No, maple. Voted greatest ever Lancastrian in a BBC poll in 2002, whose face is reproduced on the seats of the stand named after him at Preston North End's home ground?
Sir Tom Finney.
Correct. Which conductor arranged the Fantasia on British sea songs performed on the last night of most promenade concert seasons?
Henry Wood.
Correct. Which bacterium found in certain foods, especially chicken and soft cheese, is named after a pioneering 19th century English surgeon?
Salmonella.
No, Listeria. Which of the assay offices of the United Kingdom has a 3-towered castle as its symbol?
Edinburgh.
Correct. Which pool champion did Jackie Gleason play in the 1961 film The Hustler?
Minnesota Fats.
Correct. Whose last words, spoken in 1658, were reputedly, "My design is to make what haste I may to be gone"?
Oliver Cromwell.
Correct. Which rapper reached the top of the UK singles charts in December 2000 with the song Stan?
Eminem.
Correct. Which is the most abundant chemical element in the universe, accounting for about 75% of the mass of all matter?
Hydrogen.
Correct. In medicine, an emetic substance is given to induce what?
Sickness. Vomiting.
Correct. The Battle of Castillo in 1453 was the last battle in which long-running war?
100 Years' War.
Correct. Set in his native Suffolk, who composed the music for the operas Peter Grimes and Albert Herring?
Benjamin Britten.
Correct. Luzon and Mindanao are the 2 principal islands of which country, consisting of an archipelago of over 7,000 islands?
Philippines.
The Philippines is the correct answer. You went through those at quite a lick. at the end there. You passed on none of them. You had 9 in the first round. You now, Geoffrey Thomas, have 25 points. And now, Isabelle Huard, please. Now, you scored 16 points last time with Audrey Hepburn. This time, Vincent Minnelli. I never know whether to say Vincent or Vincente, but we all anglicise it now, I guess.
Yes.
Films interest you clearly.
Yes, they do. That's my main interest in life. Films of the, I suppose, from the 30s, 60s, really. I'm not very up on anything modern, you know, after 1970.
And does that mean that you don't much care for more modern films?
Oh, no, I quite enjoy them. Yeah, when they come around on television. I must admit I don't go to the cinema that much these days. But my first love is certainly films of the golden era.
Right, well, you got 11 points last time. Let's see how you do in the general knowledge round, which begins 2 minutes now. In chess, what name is given to the sacrifice of a pawn or other minor piece in order to gain an advantage?
Gambit.
Correct. Sir William Lamb, who was British Prime Minister during the early years of Queen Victoria's reign, was known by what title?
Melbourne.
Correct. Which English actor starred as Frenchman Jean-Luc Picard, captain of the upgraded USS Enterprise in Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Patrick Stewart.
Correct. Brother and sister Tom and Maggie Tulliver are the principal characters in which novel by George Eliot?
Mill on the Floss.
Correct. Which London hospital, reputed to be the oldest in England, was founded by the monk Rahera in about 1123?
Guys.
St Bartholomew's. Who took the place among the 12 apostles left vacant by the treachery of Judas Iscariot?
Matthias.
Correct. In terms of population, which is the largest city on the South Island of New Zealand?
Wellington.
Christchurch. The adjective crepuscular refers to which part of the day?
Dawn.
Twilight. Which American folk singer who died in 1967 wrote the Dust Bowl Ballads?
Pass.
The Adi Granth is the holy scripture of which religion?
Sikhism.
Correct. Which organisation was founded in 1919 by Eglantine Jebb with the aim of working for the welfare of children in disaster areas?
Save the Children Fund.
Correct. Which controversial Conservative MP lost her seat in South Derbyshire in the 1997 general election?
Edwina Curry.
Correct. Which branch of physics deals with the laws governing processes involving heat changes and the conservation of energy?
Thermodynamics.
Correct. Black-headed and great and lesser black-backed are species of which family of seabirds?
Gulls.
Correct. Which tiny islet in the North Atlantic, some 220 miles west of the Outer Hebrides, was annexed by Britain in 1955?
Tristan da Cunha.
Rockall. Which empress created what is thought to be the first modern rose garden at a country house, Malmaison, outside Paris?
Marie Antoinette.
Josephine. In The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, what is the name of the paranoid android?
Marvin.
Correct. In Greek mythology, what was the name of the sorceress who turned Odysseus's companions into swine?
Circe.
Circe is correct. So, you passed on one question there. The American folk singer who died in 67 and wrote the Dust Bowl Ballads was Woodrow Wilson, or if you prefer, Woody Guthrie. 11 points in the first round. Now, Isabelle Huard, you have 23 points.
Thank you.
And now, Tim Wilson, please. And it was English romantic literature that took your fancy the last time.
Yep.
And it's literature again this time, only Dickens.
Yes.
Because...
Long been my favourite novelist. And I think he's more than a novelist. I mean, we have the word Dickensian. He's just a sort of world in himself, I guess. And his life also I find fascinating. Tremendous energy. It's a wonder he produced all that he did. Huge novels, huge volume of journalism, public readings, and great conviviality as well. He was a great social character as well. So I think he's a very fascinating Englishman.
Well, as I say, you scored 16 points in your first round. You have 25 points to beat. 2 minutes on general knowledge, starting now. Which red wine made from the Sangiovese grape is produced around the Tuscan hill town of Montalcino?
Pass.
Who, on September the 30th, 1967, became the first disc jockey to broadcast on Radio 1?
Tony Blackburn.
Correct. Who resigned as Secretary of State for Health just before Blair's June 2003 cabinet reshuffle in order to spend more time with his family?
Alan Milburn.
Correct. Of which sport that was discontinued as an Olympic sport after 1936 are Argentina the reigning champions?
Polo.
Correct. Which deep, ruddy brown to purplish brown wood used for furniture gets its name from its sweet scent?
Mahogany.
Rosewood. In the New Testament, to whom did Paul refer in his epistle to the Colossians as the beloved physician?
Luke.
Correct. Newcastle disease, a serious viral disease of birds, especially poultry, has what alternative name?
Croup.
No. Fowl pest. Which Venetian traveller served as an envoy to Kublai Khan in the 13th century?
Marco Polo.
Correct. Which film actor was born Krishna Banji in 1943 near Scarborough, the son of a doctor?
Pass.
In which South American country is Mount Cotopaxi the world's highest continuously active volcano?
Peru.
Ecuador. Which artist reached #1 in the US charts in August 2002 with The Rising, an album about America and the aftermath of September the 11th, 2001?
Bruce Springsteen.
Correct. Which folk hero of the American Revolution made a renowned horseback ride from Boston to Lexington in April 1775 to warn of British troop movements?
Paul Revere.
Correct. What is the name given to an apparatus applied to a limb to stop arterial bleeding?
Tourniquet.
Correct. In mechanics, which property of a body is equal to its mass times its velocity?
Inertia.
No. Momentum. The angel choir is a feature of which English cathedral?
York.
No. Lincoln. In Greek mythology, who was punished for stealing fire from the gods by being chained to a mountain? I started, so I'll finish. By being chained to a mountain where an eagle preyed on his liver by day, the liver being renewed at night?
Prometheus.
Correct. You passed on 2 questions. The film actor who was born Krishna Banji is Ben Kingsley. The red wine made from the Sangiovese grape is Brunello. Tim Wilson, you scored a total of 25 points. So that brings us to the end of the second quarter-final, and it couldn't have been much closer. Let's look at the scores. In 4th place with 18 points is Joe Shelley. In 3rd place with 23 points is Isabelle Huard. And that leaves us with 2 players on 25 points, Tim Wilson and Geoffrey Thomas. But Tim Wilson passed on 2 questions, and Geoffrey Thomas had no passes. And that makes him tonight's winner. Not only tonight's winner, but our second finalist. Therefore, Geoffrey Thomas goes through to our grand final. Congratulations to him, and thanks and commiserations to the other gallant quarter-finalists. Please join us next week for the 3rd of our quarter-finals. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Monty Dunn looks at the impact the great artists like Monet and Cézanne had on French gardens. That's tonight at 9. Next today on BBC Two, secondary modern schools in the 60s. Real History of Britain is next.